There are many different kinds of sources that you can use for a research project. Most assignments require books and articles, but you might also use videos, podcasts, and websites, among other things. There are several kinds of books, but you will likely use two types the most. A monograph is a nonfiction work on a single subject, usually written by one author. An edited volume is a collection of specific chapters by different authors related by a general topic. Typically, when you're using a book as a source, you don't use the whole thing, but focus on chapters or selections which relate to your research question. You can discover these sections by using the table of contents and the index. Articles usually come from periodicals. Newspapers and magazines are common periodicals written for a general audience. Those written for experts or scholars are known as journals. Either way, these materials are published regularly, such as weekly or monthly, and each issue contains a mix of articles. Since each issue has the same title, they are differentiated by things like date and volume. Most articles, whatever the type, are found through our library databases. Articles can be very specific, so sometimes you will find book chapters easier to understand and use as you begin research. There's another way to think about sources, particularly with respect to the author, audience, and purpose. We will focus on three types here: scholarly, informative, and popular. The types of sources you need depends on why you need the information. You certainly do not need a scholarly source to help you understand the weather forecast for next week, nor would you use People magazine for a literary analysis paper. For your college research, pay close attention to the parameters of the assignment. Many of your professors will require scholarly or peer-reviewed sources. These are written by experts, typically those with a PhD, for fellow experts to share research. These works include extensive references to other scholars' work, since scholars build on the research of others as they continue the work of their discipline. Before being published, they also go through a rigorous process of peer review, where other experts in the field assess the validity of the research and its findings to determine if it should be published or not. Other professors will allow informative sources. These are often written by journalists or other specialists and are intended for an informed but general audience. They will refer to the sources they used, but not include formal references. They also go through a review process that includes fact-checking and editing, but is not as rigorous as academic peer review. Popular sources are less likely to be allowed as options for your research assignments, but that depends on the topic and the professor. These sources are for very general audiences, tend to have just basic information, and are often written for the purposes of entertainment. Again, pay close attention to the instructions of your assignment to guide you in the types of sources you will be using. Next, we'll spend some time on how to search for these sources.